So this is my first video, and to anyone that sees this, it is not very well prepared. I was just bored and decided to do it, and I don't really know how to publicly talk, so it may be a little awkward. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through the steps of what I'm doing, which this is my first time ever trying grayscale drawing, and it was kind of confusing, and the colors did not come out how I thought they would. So yeah, but basically I started out with what I normally do, which is a rough sketch, and then I go over it with colors. I don't ever really get rid of the sketch. I kind of just go over it and use it, because I don't know, that's just the way that I've started to do it. But yeah, normally I would do the rough sketch and then block colors out and then erase, add colors until I thought it looked good. But this time I lined it out, sketched it, and then went over it in gray. I made a layer underneath the line art and did it in gray, and then just started adding darker colors on top of that. And then yeah, so basically you can see I'm just adding line art because it was a sketch. I did under it gray, on top of that, over the sketch, more gray, and then on that third layer is where I'm doing the darker parts and refining everything basically. So yeah. So about here you can see where I started to just color block a little, and then you can see the sketch layer and how I'm going over it with the new line art, and just making everything how I think it should look in the end, the final product lines. And here you can see where I'm extending out the knee, because I drew it a little too short the first time, and just defining it, and extending. And I also realized that I made it way too far down, so I brought it up. Okay, so you can see here where I start blocking out all of the colors, and I went over, I did a color layer on top of my gray layer because I merged them and then moved it above the sketch, and that's where I added my color, and it did not show up how I thought it would. It was a little off, and I had to individually go back later, which you'll see, and add color, because it wasn't showing up how I wanted it to. But yeah, but then sometimes I get bored, so I'll move on to something else in the drawing, and I was doing the background like you saw, and yeah, I don't think you can see like a lot of visible differences here, but I'm just like, after I added all of the color, I'm going back and more detail, like adding highlights. Like I added a few like strands of hair that were like out of place to just make it look more realistic, I guess. I mean, I don't really think this is realistic looking, but just get that feel, I guess. So yeah, I just want to say like some of my critiques here is like her arms and legs look kind of goofy, but if I would have tried to go back and like fix everything, I probably would have given up because I have a really hard time like sticking to a piece and like actually finishing it. And this one took me like a couple hours, and I just have a really hard time like staying focused. And you can kind of see where I start noticing like small imperfections and just going back and coloring over it and then like making new line art. So yeah, I'm just going over adding colors, fixing where I thought it looked a little weird. I'm adding her little logo, and then basically I'm done. So yeah, some of my critiques would probably be, I feel like the body I could have better made it more proportional, but I don't know. I kind of liked the grayscale thing, but it's definitely not what I'm used to. So yeah, first I'm doing grayscale, it was okay. So yeah, to anyone still watching, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah.